she gets up here and she's using this one, I'll just grab one for the Scottish. Yeah. Or you really have to mumble a lot. That's her. And then there's the speech.
Nice.
And
Mm-hmm.
and that's oh yeah. Well, I was this friend of mine told me about. We were talking about the Vietnam War, and I'm of the age where your boyfriend got drafted and went away and died, and or the person that your mother's worked with, her son got killed, and it was really really sad. So with the Midianites being evil and having to be taken out, you're soldiers and you come back from war. What is that like? That's kind of so. This soldier came back and he won the Medal of Honor, and pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
That's a good
And
one.
amazingly, the book was in the library for Beaumont.
Yeah.
And so that's what that is.
Right.
There's the speech.
Nice.
So we're good to go.
Right.
So just
Huh?
be relaxed, cute. We'll be little stair steps. So everybody's got this. And I'm just going to stick this, I've got my own. I'll stick it here. And if for some reason
And we're fumbling.
you'll have it. Hi. How are you? I've had sinus stuff going on today. We're not going to use that. So, and then sages. And how about I'll just put this, I'm going to put it over here. So both of y'all's little speeches are right there. Because I have my own. The bricks fell off the front. We don't have any matches up here, so you'll have Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Shabbat services at Temple Emanuel. And now I'd like to invite, the first song that we're going to sing is on page 10. We will only sing the English verse. And then Robin will light the candles.
The sun and the treetops no longer is seen. Come gather to welcome the Shabbat, our Queen. Behold, her to is descending, the holy, a blessed, and with her the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, and here abide. Draw near, O Sabbath bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace.
Now Robin Goebbels will do the Sabbath prayers. Page 2 and 3.
As these Shabbat candles give light, all so may we, by our lives, give light to all. As their brightness of the generations is real to have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nitanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahalik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, my our God, sovereign of the universe, hallows us with mitzvot, leading us the light of Shabbat.
Now turn to page 7, where we read, "Where has this week vanished?" Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Join us on page 20, singing Laka Dodi.
Lacha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nakabala. Lacha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nakabala. Lacha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nakabala. Lachado di likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nakabala. Shamor v'tzakor b'dibor echad, Ishmianu elcham yechad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'lichila. Shabbat nakabala, lechadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nakabala. לקראת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצוחלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בויכלה בויכלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Please rise for the Elenu. From Barku, sorry. Please rise for the Barku.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach leolam vaed.
Please turn to page 30, where in the English we read, "Blessed are you." Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Zavot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamviri Avari. Page 32, we will sing Ahavat Olam.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ושמיפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשכבנו וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונחמא בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה. ואהבך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 33, as you taught Torah. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Did you mean, help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please rise for the Shema on page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevut Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We shall read the English on page 36 at the bottom. You shall love. You shall love Adonai with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress upon them your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohim Emet. Page 39, standing on the parted way. We read, standing on the parted. We believe what we were taught before ever we stood on Sinai's foot. Wherever we, it is eternally Egypt. It is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Page 40, we sing Mi Kamocha.
Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh. Nora teilot osef ele, nora teilot osef ele. Malchutecha Ra'uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe zelianu ve'amru Adonai imloch Adonai imloch le'olam vaed.
Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Page 42, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'amidenu malchenu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu veshalom ve'amidenu adoikenu l'chaim. Ushmotzetenu Uvoenu השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו ושלום בעמידנו מלכנו הששים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום בעמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
Page 43, we read, Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, upurei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, be'al Yerushalayim. Page 44, we sing Beshamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת ויהי נפש שבת שבת ויהי נפש.
Page 45, we are a people. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable, without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Please rise for the tefillah. Adonai sefer tatitat ufiaki tehilateka. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanorah, El Elon, Gomiel Kasdim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zoker Kastiavot Imahod, Umovei Gustav Lifnei Mehem, Leman Shimo Ve'ha, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mekayeh HaKol atah Rav Leoshia, Mored Hatah. Mekayel Kaim Bekesed, Mekayeh HaKol Berakamim Ravi. So make no fin, reofe kolim, Umasir Hasurim, Kayem Munato, Lishane Afa, Mikamo Kabal Bekurot, Umido Mela, Melek Memid, Kaye, Basmia Yeshua, Beniman Atalehayot, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekaye Hako, Atah Kadosh Veshimcha Kadosh, Ukadoshim Beko Yom Pe'elukva Selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Turn to page 57, where we read, You are with us. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence, to do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to your prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, Shiodka levadka v'ya'eravo. Page 59, we read God of goodness. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us, and all those and more. We offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Uka Na'el Halachado. Page 60, let us sing Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata Melech Adon lekol Shalom. Ki ata Melech Adon lekol Shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
61, grant us peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blessed our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarik et amo Yisrael ba shalom. Now take some time for our private prayers.
Yiul ratzonim refi, Yiul ratzonim refi, Megion levi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goli. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart, be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimromav, Uyase shalom aleinu, Me'akol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Ve'imru,
On page 253, we will sing the Mishaberak prayers. So think of those that need God's presence even more so in their lives than just for daily breath, either physically or mentally. And if you'd like to say their names out loud, we will start over here. Susan Schaefer. Now we will sing Mishaberak on 253.
Mishaberak avotenu, Mekor habracha. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberak imotenu, Mekor habracha Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
The Torah portion. This week's Matot Maseh is a double portion. Matot meaning tribes, and Maseh meaning travels or journeys. This is the final one in the book of Numbers, and it describes the laws of vows, a war against the Midianites, and the request of some of the tribes to dwell outside the land of Israel. It also reviews the Israelites' travels in the desert and outlines Israel's boundaries. Moses, so getting into those, Moses conveys the laws governing the annulment of vows to the heads of the tribes of Israel. Moses spoke to the heads of the Israelite tribes, saying, "This is what the Lord has commanded. If a man takes a vow to the Lord or an oath imposing an obligation on himself, he shall not break his pledge. He must carry out all that has passed his lips." Then there are other rules in there for if your child makes a vow, the parents are responsible for keeping or saying, no, that was something they were too young to understand. And that vows are very important. War against the Midianites for their role in plotting the moral destruction of Israel. And the Torah gives a detailed account of the war spoils, how they were allocated amongst the people, the warriors, the Levites, and the high priest. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Avenge the Israelite people on the Midianites, then you shall be gathered to your kin." And then the tribes of Reuben and Gad asked for the lands east of the Jordan. And as you can imagine, Moses says, "Why do you not want to enter the lands with us?" And no, you can't do that because we need you. Well, it was because it was good for cattle. It was good grazing land, and a land that's made for the specific wonderfulness of grazing cattle cannot be passed up. And they say, "No, we'll come with you. We'll help you conquer whoever we need to conquer and get set up." And so Moses says, "Oh, okay, that sounds good." So then about the battle with the Midianites. These days, our minds are often thinking of the land of Israel as we think of battles. And there are battles going on there to defend it. We hope that all the defenders will return and live in peace. The Israelites fighting the Midianites returned with riches that they found on the battlefield, but the greatest treasure was their lives. Here's the title of an essay by Rabbi Shlomo Seidenfeld. How do we leave the battlefield behind when the war ends? They said to Moses, "Your servants counted the soldiers who were in our charge, and not one was missing among us. We therefore wish to bring an offering for the Lord. Any man who found a gold article, be it a bracelet, an anklet, a ring, an earring, or a body ornament, to atone for our souls before the Lord." Rabbi Shlomo says, "I've never tasted war, never encountered the terror, ferocity, and dehumanization of that experience. Fed on a diet of war images and personal accounts, I'm left with one searing question. How does any soul survive war? How can any one person thrust into an environment seething with fear and savagery emerge a sane and emotionally stable person?" PTSD is a term we're all familiar with, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's the reasonable response of a soul exposed to a brutal experience. What is amazing is that anyone comes back from war as a functioning human being. And yet, the protagonists of our verses did. The war against Midian was fought against an enemy whose sole objective was to demoralize and corrupt the Jewish people. They were like a poison, drawing the Jewish people away from God. An enemy that had no compunctions, prostituting their wives and daughters in war effort. An enemy that saw goodness and holiness as a threat. And not one man was missing. Ostensibly, those were reports that there were no casualties suffered in the war against Midian. This verse, however, can also be interpreted to convey that despite being forced to engage in the violent enterprise of war, none of the soldiers lost their humanity, their morality, their Jewish compass. None of the soldiers surrendered to the base and ugly impulses that war can unleash. No man was missing. You see, every soldier has two enemies, his adversary and himself. How he behaves in the battle of his life will determine whether he returns from war or is an ongoing casualty of it. We've all seen ongoing casualties of conflict in people that we know or have seen that are wounded warriors. What's our first memory of war? This July, those of us who are of a certain age will remember our first war that we really thought about was the war in Vietnam. And this July, there were some commemorative services about the Vietnam War. The turmoil and the sadness of that war, the drafting of our friends, and their deaths or ongoing disability. So I looked up some Jews to see what Jews had fought in Vietnam. And sure enough, I found quite the Jewish hero, Colonel Jack Jacobs, retired. And of course, since he's a Jew, he's got a book. Okay, it's the right page. So this is an article from the Wisconsin Jewish Chronicle where interviewer Seth Giddel interviewed Jack Jacobs. And the name of the article is A Glimpse Inside the World of Vietnam's Jewish GIs. On October 9th, 1969, as Chicago was engulfed by the trial of anti-war radicals Jerry Rubin and Abby Hoffman, President Nixon draped the nation's highest military decoration, the Medal of Honor, around the neck of Captain Jack Jacobs. Now, according to the citation that accompanied this award, Jacobs had not only assumed command of his unit despite suffering heavy wounds, but he had rescued two other soldiers and individually repelled waves of attacking enemy soldiers. On 3 separate occasions, Captain Jacobs contacted and drove off Viet Cong squads who were searching for Allied wounded and weapons. He single-handedly killed 3, wounding several others. So the name of his memoir is If Not Now, When?, which employs Hillel's aphorism to explain his wartime heroism. Now, although few enlisted men were Jewish, due to the Vietnam-era draft where people right out of high school who were not going to college, which most Jewish young men apparently, I know my friends wanted to go to college, so were therefore not eligible for the draft. There were some, like Jack Jacobs, who when graduating from Rutgers went in to be an officer. He recalls his mother telling him, "You must be out of your mind." Their faces, his parents, had that sad, shocked expression that said they would have preferred that I had become a trash collector or a grave digger or a Catholic, Jacobs recalls. No, I was supposed to become a banker. Colonel Jacobs' book shows that he was heroic in spirit and not just someone given the circumstance to be a hero. So I hadn't had time to read all of this book, which is available in the Beaumont Library. But I thought this part showed some humility Years ago, somebody asked Senator Bob Kerrey how one becomes a Medal of Honor recipient. He was formerly the governor of Nebraska and now the president of the new school in Manhattan. Kerry had received the Medal of Honor and was a Navy SEAL in Vietnam. And he said, and this book says he doesn't know if it's his words or he heard it from somewhere else. To receive the Medal of Honor, you have to do something. People have to see it. And they have to be able to write, and they can't hate you. So if you do something that's heroic and it's seen and people like you and they write it down, that's how you win the Medal of Honor. But every aspect of military service, particularly the personal sacrifice inherent in it, is intensified during armed combat against a hostile enemy. So for every person cited, someone who gets an award for performing a valorous act, there are many more who were brave and received no accolade. The actions of patriots who do not lose value because they are not observed. And those who are lauded for having performed meritoriously bask not in the brief sunshine of public gratitude, but in the eternal pride of representing all of those who cannot. Also looking up the ladies, from the Jewish Women's Archive is an article on the service of a Jewish nurse, Marita Silverman. Marita Silverman worked stabilizing for transport out of Vietnam and post-op care of the wounded in several mass units in Vietnam from 1970 to 1972. A hero nurse for sure. We all pray that the war in Israel will end soon with peace and safety guaranteed. So how do we leave the battlefield behind when the war ends? Life is not easy, and like the Israelites clearing their land of evildoers who sought to lead them into unholy living, we have to fight to stay in God's presence. Numbers 35, verse 34. You shall not defile the land in which you live, in which I myself abide, for I, the Lord, abide among the Israelite people. For that we all say, Amen. Now I'd like to invite Sherry Horowitz, President-elect, to give announcements.
Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. I want to thank Mike Spector, Lindsay and William Spector for being our host families tonight. We have a birthday, Veroff Cooper. We'll have a birthday on the 7th. And on the 2nd, Emily and Jeff Wheeler have an anniversary. Next Friday, the ABC committee will be hosting a potluck dinner. And if you plan on coming, please call the office and let us know if you're coming and how many are going to attend. I would hate for somebody not to get a piece of meat. And you won't get anything if you don't call. Also, on the 13th is a tasting of some of their place, and Sarah still has tickets in the office. If you're going to volunteer, you have to have a ticket. Next week, Rabbi John will be here. Laura is holding up tickets, so I guess that means that, do you have some for sale? No, you're just showing it? Okay. Oh, Sarah gave them to you. Okay, well, forget about Sarah and talk to Laura about buying a ticket. How's that? Next week, Rabbi John will be here, and for each and every one of you, I hope you have a week filled with peace, love, and laughter. Thank you.
Please rise for the Elenu.
On page 282. Aleinu beishabe alon hakol, le'atei degula b'tzei b'reshit, shelo telkenu kahem, ve'kor aleinu keshbikat hamunam, ve'kokenu kahem, ve'kor aleinu kekol hamunam, v'anaknu korim, Umishtaftavim umodim, lifne melech, al hamlakim, hakadosh baruch hu.
Le'nemar v'haya Adonai, le'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad.
Please remain standing for the new month.
The name of the 5th month on the Jewish calendar, counting from Nisan, Av, literally means father. It is customary to add the name Menachem, which means comforter or consoler. So we say, Menachem Av. In this month, both temples were destroyed and many other tragedies occurred. Yet our Father in heaven is there to comfort and console us. Rosh Kadosh, Av, Yehei, Bayom, Shnei Hu Ayom. Shnei means Monday. Rosh Kadosh of Av, Hebrew year 5784, begins at sundown on Sunday, August 4th, 2024, and ends at nightfall on Monday, the 5th of August, 2024.
Please remain standing while sage prayer for Israel. Page
259.
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fulfillment of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
You may be seated. Page 292. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction, he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a greater teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even then when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live, as in the higher moments they themselves wished to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding lesson. You And turn to your program, and we will honor the memory of the following congregants. We mark the yard sites of Harry Shapiro, Celia Tobias Alter, Sarah Klein, M. Lewis Levy, Frederick S. Roos, Leo Schneider, Abraham Diamond, Hortense Klein, Charles S. Petrova, I. Jake Abelman, Lawrence H. Blum, Relda Fingerhofer, Eva D. Levy, Estelle Gura Leboff, Pearl Spear, Anita L. Mechanic, Samuel Rosenbaum, Kurt Siegelman, Joseph Bogan, William B. Hickman, Jake Bagelman, Sam Kahn, Werner Steinhardt, Elsie Schwartz. And we also remember Israelis, including members of the IDF who have died since October 7th, 2023, as well as the people of Gaza. Please rise as we read the words of the Mourner's Kaddish found on page 294. Yikadal v'kadash shemei rabbah bal me'amal v'vri v'vi hutei hutei o v'hom v'hom v'Yisrael Ela v'vrim kavrim v'imru amen Yehei shema rabbah v'men drash Leil v'leil maya Yitbarak v'ishtabah v'ishnakar v'itnaman v'itnaseh V'atadar, v'atale, v'atala, shemei, kudusha, berechu, le'aman, kol berechata, bershata, tushbachata, v'namata, dama, v'vlam, v'imru, amen. Yehesh, shama, ravimi, shemaya, v'chaye, achol, v'achol, Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom, b'mamav, uya'aseh shalom, Aleni of Yaakov, Israel, Vimru, Amen.
We think of our loved ones whose death has recently taken from us and who died at the sea years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. May their memories be a blessing. You may be seated. We will sing O Say Shalom, the last words of the Kaddish there, which we've sung many times, and you should all know the words by now. O Say Shalom.
Ose shalom, shalom b'bramav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'ako Israel, ve'imru amen. Uyase shalom aleinu, Israel, Amen. Ose shalom, shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Israel, amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Join us downstairs for prayers and something to drink. L'chaim. He's tired of the old ladies now. All those old ladies. Make them stop. Make them stop.